life is tough. Life is suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us have our battles that we're going through.
That's right.
And we all have our vices that we have to deal with our pain and our suffering. But how can someone that is stuck, hiding, break free from that suppression?
I'm going to do to you on a table or on a mat what you could do for yourself on a yoga mat.
I see.
And so, again, it's not stretching for an event. It's stretching for life.
So many people say, I want to own a Ferrari.
Aye.
How many people say, I want to be a Ferrari?
Ooh.
If you're not consciously working to improve your spiritual wellness, someone else is going to. And that someone else does not have your best intentions at heart.
It's all about a healthy balance. Why? Because we call them diets, but diets are meant to be broken. It has a beginning and an end. But when we start a journey on a healthy lifestyle, it's forever, baby. When I went through my battles with alcoholism, right? And, it was easy for people to point it out, be like, hey, man, what are you to stop fucking up? And you drink. And so the difference between alcoholism or any other kind of addiction and obesity is that you come home and you share that addiction with your kids.
Ooh. Hello and welcome to the Harmonized Podcast, where we learn about the interconnectedness of the mind, body, and spirit. Today we're joined by Ricardo Renteria, who is a holistic practitioner. And today we're going to be talking about his journey of discovering this holistic healing and his journey with fitness, massage therapy, and herbal healing. And we're going to talk about how the system is suppressing us and influencing us and how you can break free from that suppression. And if you get some value from this podcast, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and share this video to help us reach a larger audience. Without further ado, welcome, Ricardo Renteria.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's an honor, brother. First off, we met in the sauna not too long ago. I was there after a workout. You walked in. We had a short 5-minute conversation. And right off the bat, I knew, oh, man, we got to have a podcast. We're on the same wavelength. We're talking about stretching and how lifting weights as well as healing properties and stuff. And I'm just like, all right, we got to have a podcast. Let's go, man. So we had a conversation this week. We had some coffee and then now we're doing this thing. So welcome, brother. Why don't we start off with your journey? What first got you into holistic healing or holistic practice?
Good question. I think I was born into it. My mother's a holistic practitioner, indigenous modalities. So I was raised in a house that looked towards alternative medicine for treatment. So we didn't really frequent hospitals and vaccines and that type of thing. Again, I'm not anti-vax. I'm just, I like to use some critical thinking when deciding what to put into my body.
Love that. So you didn't fall into the traps of big pharma.
Trying to break that, yes. Trying to break away from that, and it's easy to fall into that.
Oh, no doubt.
It really is, and just, we can get into that.
No doubt. Yeah. Man, so you said your mom is a how do you say it?
Yerbera. It's herbs, somebody that works with herbs, and a huesera, which is somebody that, it's an indigenous modality that is a mix between chiropractic work and massage.
Awesome. So, I'd love to get into both of those because you also did that as well, right?
Correct.
Okay. Why don't we start with the herbs, man? Because so often today you see with big pharma and the influences that are out there, they're poisoning our foods, poisoning our water, all these other products that we're putting on our body, loading ourselves with toxins. Then you go to the doctor and then they prescribe you medication. And this medication never heals you. It's just a Band-Aid that covers up your symptoms that has all these other side effects. So it's never addressing the root cause. And I feel like our ancestors, like your mother, had this ancient knowledge on how to heal yourself because it wasn't influenced by this big system of big pharma. And they knew these holistic remedies from their ancestors where they could go and heal themselves for real. And I don't know if they were addressing the root cause, but I think these healing properties are definitely better than the petroleum-based medications that we're seeing today. So I'd love to unpack that with you here right now.
Cool. Yeah, I think you hit several good points. And it does go after the root cause versus chasing side effects or chasing symptoms, which is what Western medicine does, right? We chase the symptom, and symptom, excuse me, can vary depending on the healing process. And so, indigenous modalities, as in Eastern modalities, focus on the root cause.
Mm.
And yeah, so we're given all that we need in the plant world. Big pharma uses some of it and then processes it, and then gets to a point where it no longer heals. It's just kind of big band-aid, but just a big band-aid for the symptom.
Gotcha. So where did she learn about all this?
Mom, well, she was born into it. So my mother is from a place in Mexico called Las Barrancas del Cobre, Copper Canyon. And so she was raised alongside with the Tarahumara, and then just farm people. There were people from the land that, I mean, the closest hospital might be 4 or 5 hours away. And so she was born into it as well. And then obviously, in the last 50 or 60 years, mother's been practicing here in Las Cruces, and just done a boatload of training with it, just going to other elders, going to workshops, and just kind of accumulating those tools to help the community.
Wow. So a lot of this was passed down by word of mouth?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, for sure.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And were these like elders in her tribe that were like giving her? I don't know forgive me if I misspeak here. I don't understand how she was living back then.
Some of it came down through the family. Most of it is like family recipes. But then also in the workshops, there are elders. As far as not the tribe or the people, mostly maybe other people in the field that have honed their life and professional experience in chasing these solutions, and looking and remembering and recording and sharing these secrets, if you will.
Beautiful. So if you could share with us some of your top 3, maybe 5 home remedies that you know from your mom or that you've discovered yourself that are alternatives to big pharma.
Oof.
I know you brought me one right here.
Yes. And so that there is a blend of 8 different herbs that came during the time of COVID. And so the business, we were not considered medical or essential at the time. And so they shut us down. And in that time, people started coming to me sick. Respiratory, obviously, COVID, positive COVID, heavy symptoms. And I didn't just want to operate from a place where it can be considered new age medicine or kook, right? It could be. And so I like to do the research behind the plant medicine. For example, eucalyptus, right? CDC came out 2 years after. This is, I think, 2023. And they said by boiling and inhaling eucalyptus, it will kick the virus out. By this time, we've been working with it for 2 years now. Cold menthol press is a vasodilator, right? So it's like Vicks. It opens up the lungs. White willow bark, they make aspirin out of. So we're looking at anti-inflammatory and pain. And an array of other, there's 8 different herbs, and we had great success. We lost track at like 30. We opened up our doors, ran the sauna, an indigenous sauna or a sweat lodge, at 150 to 175 degrees. And so we did all the research, right? Harvard School of Medicine, Mayo Clinic, the VA, to try to verify that these things weren't just
woo.
No. We want to have data that backs it up.
Yeah.
And so every one of those herbs are for oregano, the stuff that you got in your kitchen pantry, is good for any kind of respiratory, allergies, anything respiratory. And so there's these herbs, we blend them, we make a tea, we step into the sauna. If you don't have a sauna at home, then just a basic pot of water over the stove with a towel over your head, inhaling some of that. It opens up the lungs, brings in that plant medicine, and it kicks it out.
Awesome.
And so whether it be COVID, whether it be allergies, anything like that, that's a good blend for that. We were very successful with that blend. Yeah.
Real quick, I got to ask you, what's an indigenous sauna?
The indigenous sauna is basically the temazcal in the Mexican tradition, in the American native tradition, they call them sweat lodges. But then if we take it a step further, all people are indigenous from somewhere. The European American, either English, Irish, they got some kind of indigenous blood as well. Africans, the Russian steam bath. And so all indigenous people of the land have some kind of interpretation of that relationship with the fire, the water, and the steam house. And so the Finn sauna, like the one we met in at the gym, was popularized obviously by the Finns, but it's actually a Druid way. It's a Viking tradition. That was their sweat lodge. And so before they were colonized and they practiced their pagan ways, that was their sweat lodge. And so we all have that connection to the fire.
Gotcha. So what's the one like that you were talking about?
The one that I built was actually kind of like the Finn sauna. It was a wood burning. It was New Mexico's only commercial application. And so it was really, really cool.
Wood burning.
Wood burning, yeah.
Nice.
And so the temperatures are a little different. I could compare it to smoking chicken or brisket with a pellet smoker or an actual firebox.
Gotcha.
Right? It's like heating up a tortilla in the kitchen on an electric stove or on a gas stove. So the element of fire is there, so it kind of brings in a different vibration.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about a respiratory remedy here.
Yes.
What's one for like a cold or a fever?
Oof. Fevers. My go-to is garlic.
Garlic.
Garlic is an amazing little plant medicine that is just delicious. I don't know that there's such thing as too much garlic in anything that I cook. But yeah, garlic's amazing.
Okay. So how do you just throw it in your food, or do you take it by itself, or?
I both. I do the garlic concentrate, and I do it daily on that. But then on my food, I think I'm part Italian. Maybe I don't know. I love the garlic.
You just stack it in there.
I just stack it. Now, if you're dealing with something a little bit more aggressive, my blood brother dealt with cancer. And so we went in, modified his diet, went through his pantry, went through his fridge, went through his daily intake, Cokes, anything processed, anything with a drive-through, just completely cleaned house. He stuck to the protocol. But one of the things that he did with garlic was roasted garlic. And so when you chop it in half and you roast it, you let it kind of marinate in its own, it activates. And so you just eat that with some olive oil. And I mean, my brother's been in remission now for, I think, about 4 years now.
Wow.
But he, I mean, it wasn't just the garlic. He went in and completely eliminated anything processed.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that you said that, because here we're talking about remedies to fix you, but ultimately a lifestyle change is what's going to make the biggest difference.
Absolutely.
And that lifestyle change is what you mentioned, cleaning out the pantry, cleaning out all these ultra processed junk that we're fed through the commercials and the media and all this and that.
Absolutely.
Man, what do you think are some of the most important things? Or sorry, this is what I do, man, with my clients. I coach them on how to clean up their lifestyle, and that's what heals them up, dude. Like,
absolutely.
Man, I've had people on workout programs. Yeah, you're going to build muscle, but if you want to heal and you want to lose fat, it's going to be the lifestyle changes in the kitchen and your products. That's what's going to make the change, not so much the gym.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the gym is bad. The gym is great. I love the gym, but there's far more important things, and cleaning up the lifestyle, I believe, is that.
I'm with that.
So what do you think are some of the most important things to clean up your lifestyle? Like, if someone's way down in the trenches with all the junk, all the processed stuff, where do you start?
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that. I was talking to a colleague this morning out of Mexico City, and we were talking about the gym and you know, the workout and the protocols. I think the gym, and I might be wrong, please don't hold me to it, but for me, I think the gym, it might be gym versus diet. I'm thinking diet 85%, gym maybe 10 or 15%, because you could achieve these goals without going to the gym per se, if you were just to clean up your diet.
100%.
Anything processed, anything with a drive-through, anything with anything that's been frozen, When I go shopping for my meals, rule of thumb, anything on the outer perimeters.
Love that.
Anything on the outer perimeters. You're talking fresh dairy, fresh meat, anything on the inside of those rows are going to be contaminated, if you will.
Yes, I love that. Yes, if you look at a grocery store, all the aisles, in between there, you got ultra processed boxed junk. Correct. On the outsides, you got your meat, you got your produce, you got your dairy, your eggs, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. That's right.
All right. Yeah, love that. So cleaning up the diet.
Cleaning up the diet.
Number one.
That's, and I learned this from working with the USA Olympic team the last few years. And I was introduced to phrases like micronutrients and, you know, things that were way out of my league. But I got the dubious of pleasures of working with athletes, you know, jujitsus, distant runners, fighters, Olympic, NFL, NBA, that type of stuff. And you learn things along the way. And I remember my USA Olympic athlete told me one time that just resonated. And it said, if you want to feel like a rocket ship, one must fuel like a rocket ship.
Love it.
And so then there is no way that you're going to operate in a healthy way, whether it be cancer, diabetes, obesity, lack of energy, down to hormones like depression, suicide, ideation, stuff like that. And it all comes from the food. Why? Because when we eat these products that have been highly processed, basically they're dead in nature. They're dead. There is no life force that we're taking in. That to add to already maybe genetic predisposition to testicular cancer or whatever, it just kind of sets things off.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Dead. It's dead food.
Dead food. Dead water as well.
Okay, this is kind of like a woo topic, but I totally agree. I totally agree, but can we dive into that? Like, what makes it dead? Why is it dead food?
Well, for me and in my understanding, it's dead food because it has been highly processed. You know, it has been removed from the natural chain of earth and produce and consumption to factories that are dead in energetic space. Right, there is no good intention behind it, if you will. Right now, we're kind of walking off into that. Right, and part of the reason that we're having so many problems in society is because families aren't taking the time to cook with their children. There's that little bit of love that's put into the food, a little bit of attention. Everything's microwavable. Everything's processed. Everything's that in that way. And so we're feeding that to our families. We're feeding that to our children. We're feeding that to our adults. And there is no life substance behind it anymore.
Yes, man. I totally agree. And we're feeding that to our kids, bro.
Yeah.
And we're seeing the effects of it. Look at America, man. Everyone's obese. Everyone's sick. Everyone's got mental health issues. And man, it all comes down to the food. I mean, that's the main one. That's the main thing that we're putting into our body. The fuel, like you said, if you want to be a rocket ship, you need rocket fuel.
That's right.
And we're not even putting unleaded gasoline. We're putting straight poison in our systems.
It's dead.
Like, dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, you mentioned going through the factories. It's just getting blasted with all these processes that's making it ultra processed. Then they got to clean it up with some other chemicals that are going to make it where it's not so horrid, because after it's been processed, it stinks, it looks horrible. So they got to add these other additives to make it smell better, to make it look better. And then that's how you end up with this huge list of ingredients, 50 ingredients for a box of macaroni and cheese.
And things that I can't even pronounce.
Exactly.
True story, when my daughter's 23 now, my daughter was, I got to say, maybe 10 or 12. They tried to diagnose her with also attention deficit and a bunch of other things, right? And
ADHD?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then obviously, being a holistic family, they wanted us to medicate her, and of course we didn't allow it. It turned into a whole thing. Child Protective Services got involved. I mean, it was a thing. Yeah. It was a huge thing. But being holistic practitioners, we just had to tighten up on the diet. We had been doing like cereals, and we had been doing like an occasional McDonald's and stuff
Yeah.
like that, the pizzas and stuff that I
The
love.
American diet.
Right, the American diet. And so what we did is we started diving more into like what is in the food. And like the yellow 86 and the red dyes and stuff, those two right there are known specifically to cause some kind of attention deficit thing, hyper. And so then we cut her diet from that and then added a few different things. Of course, I'm drawing a blank what it was, but like serotonins or something to mellow her out. But the most important thing was to take that thing out of the diet. And boom,
Gone.
that was it. Right.
And did you notice the symptoms yourself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what type of symptoms was she experiencing?
Well, she was having a hard time just concentrating in class. She was having a hard time just focusing and listening. I mean, bouncing off the wall like most of these kids do.
Yeah.
And I mean, shout out to all the teachers because they have to put out with that. Put up with
Yeah.
that 'cause, it's not just one. They got 30 kids in a class, and they're all wired off of juice.
So once you cleaned up her diet, those symptoms vanished.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And man, what's the alternative? Big pharma comes in, gives her these antidepressants or these other medications that does God knows what.
Exactly.
With all the extra side effects, and all you needed was a slight shift to the diet, man. Wow.
Just be a little bit more aware of what you're putting in the body.
Yeah.
And they're making millions off of keeping us sick. It seems
Millions,
billions. And so I believe that ultimately, as Westerners, as Americans, we need to take accountability. And the first thing we can be accountable for is our diet.
Yeah.
That's it. What are we putting in our mouth? What do we, and then diabetes comes and obesity and depression. And then we want them to give us a pill for that. And then a pill for something down the road. And then the pill for one of the side effects. And then where does it end?
In the grave.
That's right.
Yeah. It's never ending. And if they have a customer till death, that's best for them.
Well, it worries me. When was the last time Big Pharma healed anything? I mean, we've been battling cancer for 100 years. We haven't done any headway in it. No progress.
I don't think there's a single drug that cures the issue. Not one. Mm-hmm. I don't think that. If you know one, tell me. But I don't know a single drug that cures you. They're all Band-Aids for the symptoms.
I agree. I can't think of anything.
And you never fix the root issue. You have to keep taking those drugs, and you build a tolerance to those drugs. Absolutely. So you need more and more and more and more, and this never-ending cycle until you're not even like, I don't. This sounds crazy, but not even human anymore, man. You're like this walking zombie that can't even function. You can't think clearly. You can't move. And you're just dependent on this system that's designed to feed off of your soul, feed off of your energy, feed off of your illness. And man, this is one of the things that drives me so much, is because I can see this system and this enemy that is attacking us. And I just look around walking in the grocery store and I'm like, these people need help, bro. They need help. So many. I mean, the majority. We're not talking like a couple here or there. It's the majority of us Americans that are sick, unhealthy, obese, and not mobile.
Well, and there's a reason why there are certain products or processes that are allowed in the U.S. that are not allowed anywhere else. There's certain things that they put in our food that are not allowed in Europe, that are not allowed in Latin America, that are not allowed in other countries, because it's been proven, you know. And here we are, as Americans, just gobbling up what they feed us.
Yeah. And why is that? Why is it legal in those other countries, but not legal? Wait, why is it not legal in those other countries and legal here?
Correct.
Why?
Right. Well, I have my theories behind it, but I mean, you keep the people sick, you keep them dependent. Being somebody in physical recovery as well as mental health recovery and addiction recovery. I'm coming up on a 2-year anniversary of this shoulder rebuild, and I told the doctor, I said, do not give me anything that can cause me to have addiction issues. I've been clean for 15 years. And what they gave me, on the way out, they gave me all the good stuff. and it's my
Opioids?
second, all the opioids. Yeah. And it's funny, it's humbling because I never really understood our brothers and sisters on the street, how my addiction was different. Mine was more in the party scene versus what's going on now, because it's a lot of mental health and opioids and stuff, and fentanyl. And so the second surgery coming up in January will be 2 years. I said, I think I'll be okay. And I started taking something for pain, and then started taking something for depression. Then I could sleep and I'd get up. And man, let me tell you, Jared, 10 days in, that's all it took. I was hooked.
Wow.
Had me by my boo-boo, bro. 10 days in, I'm counting my pills. I'm seeing how many I got left. I was seeing the date of when the doctor was going to give me the new script. I was doing the math on how many I could take per day till this, and I caught myself, and I'm like, whoa. And thank God for my elders and my teachers and ceremonial way and counselors and all the work that I've been doing, that I had enough tools in my tool pouch to reach down and say, wait a minute, bro, you're addicted.
Wow.
And it only took 10 days.
That's insane.
10 days, man.
Wow.
And so it gave me a better sense of understanding, better empathy for those brothers and sisters that are on the street that maybe suffered a sports injury, many sports injuries that end up on fentanyl roll because the doctor handed them something. And so, yeah, it gave me a deeper understanding, a deeper sense of respect and empathy overall, you know, for the brothers and sisters out there that are suffering from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a crazy one. The opioid epidemic. And I honestly haven't done my research on this subject, but I know there's a serious problem with people addicted to opioids, and the doctors push it. And I don't know if they have ill intentions. I don't think the doctors have ill intentions in their mind, in their hearts. But man, how can you let someone just keep going down the spiral of these opioids? I mean, was there anything that they told you like to help prevent you from getting addicted?
Nothing at all. Matter of fact,
Like they didn't even warn you like, hey,
no.
this might be addictive.
I mean, you sign off on some things, but you know, and God bless my doctor. He did a great job with both surgeries. But he knows my history. I'm very open about my history because maybe it can help somebody along the way. You know, I've had my rough patches in life, and in doing so, I told the doctor, I say, listen, hey, I'm in recovery. Do me a favor, you know, don't give me anything that's gonna, you know, next thing you know, I'm picking up my script at Walgreens or wherever it was, and here's a, you know, couple of canisters of some funky things, man. And I thought I was okay. I thought I was okay with dabbing into some of that.
Yeah, just a couple. It's like,
Yeah, why not, right?
this shoulder hurts right now.
It was brutal, man. It was hell of a surgery.
Yeah,
That's right.
I had a hernia surgery, so it was also horrible. They cut through my abs.
Yep.
And I didn't realize how much you use your abs until I had cuts through them. Just getting in and out of bed was a mission, dude.
And don't sneeze.
Yeah.
Don't cough.
Yeah. Don't laugh. Don't
That's
cough.
right.
Don't sneeze. And yeah. Actually, I don't think they gave me opioids, but my cousin had some because I was in so much pain. I was like, yo, can I try some? And I had them for 2 or 3 days and it felt good. I mean, a little too good, just like cozy, you know, you just like sink into your chair, your bed, wherever you're at. And it's like, yeah, this is dangerous.
It's a comfortable place to hide for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To hide. Exactly.
Well, you know, this last year we've buried my cousin's kid at 27, my daughter's cousin at 17, my ex-wife's cousin at 35, and then a good friend's mother at like 65.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was just within the last year. And so, you know, it's a serious subject. You know, it's a serious subject.
You said a place to hide. What do you mean by that?
Well, because we don't want to face things, whether it's depression, the pain of our current existence, you know, life. It's just another place to hide, like food, like alcohol, like any kind of drug. You know, it's a good place to hide.
100%.
Numb the pain.
100%.
And obesity is one of them. We don't talk about it. We don't.
Gluttony.
It's so taboo. We don't talk about. And it's not about fat shaming more so than seeing it for the addiction that it is.
Yeah.
It's easy to point out somebody on Xanax or on cocaine or on heroin or an alcoholic, right? We look at that, hey, get your shit together.
Yeah.
But when we see a family member struggling with obesity, it's kind of taboo. We don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
It's the same addiction we're still hiding.
Because we're afraid to fat shame.
Well, of course. Right. It's become taboo.
But the truth is, it is an addiction.
Absolutely.
It's an addiction to the food.
Workaholism.
What's that?
A workaholism. It's another one.
Yeah.
To be a workaholic.
Yeah.
I've known many people that will hide and work. Yes, they're clean. They don't drink. They don't do drugs or anything anymore. But they're working 80, 90 hours a week because that's where they're hiding. And so to hide, what are we hiding from? What are we hiding with? Why are we hiding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, life is tough. Life is suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us have our battles that we're going through.
That's right.
And we all have our vices that we have to deal with our pain and our suffering. But how can someone that is stuck, hiding, break free from that suppression?
Wow, that's a great question. I think in most of recovery programs, they talk about the first step is to acknowledge that we have a problem.
Love that.
We have to take a good look in the mirror and say, hey, I think I fit the bill on this one. I think I'm hiding. And so it's those unpleasant moments of self-discovery and just being honest with yourself.
The awareness.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so,
what you're experiencing. It's like, okay, I got a problem. Now let's come up with a solution. But you can't come up with a solution if you don't know there's a problem.
That's right. How do you help heal a nation that doesn't even realize they're sick? I can't do it for you.
Yeah.
I can walk my walk. And along the way, maybe somebody comes along and asks a question or wants to know, and we exchange information. I learn from you, you learn from me, and I go home a better person.
Yeah.
But I think as Westerners, we are lacking the self-awareness.
1,000%. And I think that's by design.
Absolutely.
They keep us distracted.
Absolutely.
Living off of our cell phones, plugged into the media. And this is where it gets kind of dark. I mean, this is where they start pointing us left versus right. You hate these guys hate you. White versus black, men versus women. And we're too busy fighting each other to realize that we've got our own issues.
Yeah.
And these issues aren't natural. They're coming from other forces that are influencing, other forces that are attacking us mentally, physically, spiritually, you name it. We're under attack every single day through the media we're consuming, the food we're eating, the water we're drinking, the hate we're experiencing because they point us at each other. And man, it's a spiritual battle.
Yes,
it's a spiritual battle. And at the top, you start asking, why is it legal to have this poison in our food in America, but it's illegal in these other countries in Italy, Europe? Why is it legal here? Well, because the people in power are in bed with the people that are making the meds.
That's right.
And they're all supporting each other. And it's this giant system. But who's above them? Who's influencing these guys? Where's that money coming from? Because all these guys are politicians or corporate heads of the corporations. And they're working together, right? So like the FDA allows these drugs and then it allows these foods. But what is the FDA? What is the FDA?
Right.
What is it? It's like, it's an organization that regulates our medication and our food. And these people that are going into places of power of the FDA are paid by who?
Special interest all day.
Special interest. And this money is coming from above that's saying, hey, allow this drug and allow this food that makes them need this drug. And that's one of the biggest reasons that we're sick, because this is the food that we're seeing. This is the illness we're getting. We're going to the doctor. Okay. Now we need to make sure that the people are aware of that. So let's make sure and blast them with entertainment to keep them blind and stupid and plugged into the electronics, into this other universe, and not experiencing their real life. And man, it's evil.
It's an old play from an old playbook, man. The Romans did it, feed them cheese and wine.
Yeah.
Well, Rome burned,
The circuit, or the Colosseum.
Absolutely.
That's our football field.
That's our all of it, right? And they pin us against each other, left versus right, white versus brown, or red versus black, or whatever, north versus south, good versus evil, day versus night, when we're all supposed to be living in harmony. And I think that's the catch, man. They know that. Yep. They know if people become aware of their health, they eat better. Spiritually, they're going to feel better. Mentally, their cognitive thinking is going to be a little clearer. They're going to stop consuming the shit from drive-thrus or the stuff they're giving us on the media, to hate each other.
And then we're going to wake up to this bullshit system that we're living in.
That's their problem. That's what why they keep pushing this agenda.
Yep.
Because they can keep the people. It's the old playbook of divide and conquer, right? Keep us entertained with each other, versus really focusing on what's going on behind the scenes.
100%.
Right? In the magic world, they call it the sleight of the hand. And so as they make that elephant disappear, they're having you focus here. Back here, they're doing something else.
Yeah.
Always.
Illusion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we got a lot of it.
Oh man.
A lot of it.
Oh man.
Okay, so how do we break free? How do we break free? As an individual, what's your first step? We said clean up the food. I totally agree. That is number one. Clean up your diet. It will change everything.
That's right.
Everything.
Fuel the rocket ship, man.
Fuel the rocket ship.
That's right.
Clear your mind, clear your body, more energy, more focus, more drive. You can move again. You're losing weight. Depression's going away.
You're feeling good. You're more productive.
Yep.
Your presence in your conversations.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after you clean up your diet, what else can you do?
Well, with the diet, we're talking about consuming, what we're putting in the body, right? With the diet, I would also venture to say what we're listening to, what we're exposing ourselves to, what vibrations we're talking about. For example, when I started working out just a few years ago, because the pain got so great that I needed to do something. And through exercise, I've been able to find that relief. But I noticed that in my workouts, I'd start off the day, 5:45 in the morning, and I'm listening to Rage Against the Machine. I won't do what you tell me, and yes, a great pump. But when I would walk out of the gym, I would carry that vibration throughout the day.
Yeah.
And everything that I encountered, I was like ready to destroy.
I won't do what you tell
correct.
me.
Won't do what you tell me. And so I started noticing that frequencies, being that our body is 80% water, we hold these frequencies. So I started noticing that music.
Yep.
From what I'm watching at night, am I watching the news? Am I watching Fox? Am I watching CNN? Am I watching all these polarized news medias that are controlled by special interests?
Yep.
And then I join in the hate, right? I'm watching the news, and whether I agree with it or I disagree with it, now I'm mad, or I'm like, and so back to that first step of what we're putting in our body. Yes, we started off with food, but with that also, like, what vibrations am I bringing in? What music am I listening to?
Love it.
And if you catch me at the gym, man, I might have this face on and I present this way, but if you were ever to pop one of my earbuds and listen to it, I'm either listening to a podcast or listening to some kind of like healing frequency, like straight hippie shit, right? Because I notice, like, that I can focus, and also I notice that my days go a lot smoother when I start off my day with something positive.
1000%. Love that you picked that second, dude, because food is our physical intake. Well, what's our mental intake?
Spiritual and mental. What are we putting in?
The music, the media.
Do what you
Dude, yeah. And then that brings up the music industry. It's the same people, man.
Same thing.
Same thing.
They
And
took
this
over.
music is designed
Yes.
to lower your vibrational frequency.
They've changed the frequency on the music. It was
Yep.
like 444 hertz to 440. I don't know. They changed the frequency by 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think 432 was the good one, and they changed it to 440.
Something, yes.
Something
And
like
so,
that.
so what it does, it throws us off what the natural. We were created within the animal kingdom. You know, the fact that we have an opposing thumb and the ability to verbalize communication has put us on top of the animal kingdom, but not separate from. You see, and through the colonization, we have decided that man stands on top of the pyramid of creation versus within it. You see,
Within harmony.
within harmony.
Yeah. And that, man, like you said, you can feel how a song can completely change your mood. It can change the vibe. What does that mean? The vibe.
The vibe,
The vibrational frequency.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. And man, everything is an input. There's always something that's an input that our senses are picking up.
That's right.
And your inputs equal your outputs. So whatever you're bringing in, that's what you're going to be dishing out. Whether it's the food, the music, the movies, the TV, the shows, all of it.
That's right.
All of it, man. So yeah, I'm the same with you. I quit listening to all the hip hop, and I will listen to Tool occasionally. That is my my little vice there. But normally, my music, I'm listening to soundtracks, like movie soundtracks or video game soundtracks, because I feel like those. It's more of a nostalgic thing, but it puts me in that state where I'm like, just feeling good, man.
Fun.
Like it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, back to like the music, the hip hop, you know, what I believe, you know, they came in and anything that works, they're going to control, manipulate, and then eventually take over.
For sure.
Right. And so,
Maybe it didn't have ill intentions from the start.
Of course not. No,
Yeah.
the liberation hip hop, it was the liberation of the inner city. It was the frustration of the youth being delivered in spoken word over some wicked beats.
Yep.
And then in time, they were able to come in right around the time of like NWA, and they started changing it to be a little something different to where it is now. Look at the statistics on drill music, you know, and there's just people that are willing to die for that
Bro.
chain.
Dude, the new rap music, it's absolute junk, bro.
It's hard for me to swallow, man. It is
junk.
Yeah. But you got to remember, there's always the youth of the inner city are willing to chase that bag, give their life.
Yep.
But behind the scenes, you know who's holding the keys. It's always been the same thing.
Yep. And they are telling them to use these lyrics, say these words,
Correct.
promote these things, use these frequencies.
That's right.
And
To create chaos.
control our youth.
That's right. Yeah. So that would be another thing on the intake.
Love it.
Another one for me is very important is spirituality, you know, and whatever that looks like, man. It's Christian, Catholic, Apostolic. I mean, I've known some atheists that are just really amazing human beings. And so I don't believe religion begets morals or morale. You know, I think that as humans, it is encoded within us. And so
we're spiritual beings.
We're spiritual beings.
No
We're
doubt.
a spiritual being having this physical experience, right? And so to connect to whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah.
You know, to connect to that.
I love that. Yeah, because that is another aspect, the spiritual side of us. And again, inputs equals outputs.
Right.
And if you're not, I've said this before, but like, I do believe it. If you're not consciously working to improve your spiritual wellness, someone else is going to. And that someone else does not have your best intentions at heart.
I guarantee it.
So yeah, like I said, we're under attack from all angles, and the food affects your spirituality. The music affects your spirituality.
Absolutely.
When your gut is all disrupted from all this junk food, you've got brain fog, and then you can't tap into your mental space to connect to your spirit like you could normally if you have a clear conscience, a clear mind. And it's all connected, man. And
It's all connected.
that's why I named the podcast, the Harmonized Podcast, learning about the mind, body, and spirit, the interconnectedness.
Correct.
Because they're all connected.
The Holy Trinity, they call it.
Yes, sir.
Mind, body, and soul.
Yes, sir. and it's all connected. One influences the other. You can't change one without affecting the other two,
Cannot.
whether it's positive or negative.
Right.
So, man, just learning how all these different things play a toll, and that way we have the awareness that we can make intentional choices with what we're doing with our eating, our training, our mental consumption, and our spiritual connection.
That's right.
And nobody's perfect. I've got my shortcomings and plenty of them, but it starts with that intentional choice. And whenever you're living with intention, that's the opposite of drifting. And I think that's what the enemy wants. He wants us to be drifting through the days, just taking what comes at us, and here we go, another day. How are you? I'm alive. Like, man, like,
what a low vibrational thing that is, right? How are you? I'm alive.
Yep.
Another day, another dollar.
Yep.
I mean, these are these unconscious things that we're regurgitating.
Yep.
And to lower the frequency.
Yep.
Right. And so, like, my spirituality is grounded and rooted in gratitude.
Love it.
Just gratitude, man. When I'm feeling like shit, I start looking at the things that are going positive in my life.
Yep.
And there's more than any negative. And I've always said there's 1,000 people down at the border right now that would give their best day for my worst. You know, and to look at it, we got clean water, we got these beautiful lights, we got clean streets, we got work if we really wanted it. You know, we have health, we have family, we have cell phones and technology, you know, and we don't even have to go all the way down to the border. Right here in our community,
Yep.
You know, there's 1,000 people that would give their best day for my worst.
Yeah.
And so I go back to gratitude when I'm feeling shaky, when I'm feeling I'm needing grounding and something like that, is gratitude. Go back to that attitude of gratitude.
One of my absolute favorites, dude.
It just changes it up.
It's impossible to be in a bad mood when you're in a state of gratitude.
I tell you that.
Impossible.
Yeah.
You can't be in a bad mood when you're in a state of gratitude.
Yeah.
So tapping into that as much as possible. I think that is so key. And I mean, I still don't do it enough. I try to do it. Wake up in the morning, first thought, just gratitude. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you for all my family, my health and wellness. I don't do it enough. I try to say grace before every meal as another time, like a routine ritual to help me tap into that gratitude more. But you nailed it, man. That is one of my all-time faves. Gratitude.
And you've said it twice now. I gotta give you my 2 cents. You've said the first one said we're not perfect. You know, it's another one that we say a lot. You know, well, we're not perfect, or I got work to do, right? In the indigenous way, they teach us that there is no such thing as perfection. That came with the colonization and with religion, right? Because they want to set it polar opposites, good and bad, right? God and the devil, day and night, you know, positive and negative. But as humans, we have these imperfect qualities, right? Like in nature, the trees, you'll never see a tree grow perfectly straight.
True.
In nature, it grows like this, and it's perfect and divine, just the way it is. And so to allow ourselves that grace of saying, I could have done better today. Cool. Tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that shame doesn't carry anything. Shame is that lower vibrational frequency that doesn't bring about good change. Right. And it's just to look at it and say, well, you know, I go out and eat I love donuts, you know, there's this place on Solano that's just amazing. It's like crack, man. And so I don't have a perfect diet. No. I enjoy my tacos. I try not to fry anything. I don't hit drive-throughs often. Maybe once a month I dive into temptation and then I regret it immediately thereafter. But perfection. Back to that. It's an illusion. Yeah. It is an unreachable goal that they have set for us. The perfect husband, the perfect man, the perfect boyfriend, the perfect diet, the perfect workout. Yep. What does it look like? You know, there is no such thing as perfection. No.
Thank you for pointing that out. And yes, I think I was just trying to be humble there, but no, you're right. And it's what makes us human.
Absolutely.
It's what makes us human.
That's right.
If everyone was perfect, like no one would be anything special.
Everybody wants the rose. Nobody wants to handle the thorns,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You have to have thorns with the rose. That's why a lot of relationships fail. That's why my marriage failed, because you want to have the beauty. You just want to have the beautiful flower and the romance. You don't want to have the dark times, You don't want to have those unpleasant conversations, accountability, willingness to move forward and learn from your mistakes and each other's, and grow together. That's why so many relationships come to an end so short in America. There is a high divorce rate, mine included, and so, we want to.
Another huge one, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's another one that's attacked by design.
Absolutely.
Break apart the family.
Absolutely.
Keep us divided. And that is the core of division, is separating the family, because that's where we're strongest with family.
That's right.
And they know that.
Yes, they do.
So they do everything they can to influence the men and the husband and the wife to separate. The grass is greener on the other side.
Always. Always. Well, and with that, our families have come under attack that way, and it's just an old play from an old playbook, it's divide and conquer. It's the colonization. 3 key points of the colonization: separation of man and man. That is yours, this is mine, right? The houses, you drive through these neighborhoods, there are no more communities, right? Everybody's got their little fence and everybody stays in their lane. So the separation of man from man, right? You're white, I'm brown, I'm black, you're purple, whatever. Separation from man and God. And so that's the second key to the colonization of man, and it's separating God from man. And so we're always chasing God. We're hoping to find mercy, right? And be worthy of, right? Servitude versus God is here. I co-create, right? I am the son of the Almighty. So I co-create my existence. God within. Most religions talk about we are a vessel, right? And then the third stage of the colonization is the separation of man and nature, right? That is my tree, that is my dog, right? That is an asset or something that I can make money off of, right? Like these beautiful pecan trees up and down the valley, sucking up all the water, right? You see our water tables. We're not living in harmony. And so to look at it as a commodity versus living in balance with the tree that takes that carbon and gives us that oxygen and the shade in the summer.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's a tough one for me because I grew up on a farm. So my family's all farmers. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Versus back in the day, you're living off the land in harmony with nature, whereas now it's a plot of land that you're using to produce something and generate profit and revenue, and it's a business instead of this harmonious relationship. Now, I'm not saying farmers don't have a harmonious relationship with the land,
no,
because they have to in order to grow these crops.
Thank you to all the farmers out there supporting
for sure
food on the table. It's hard for them as well out here with all these different things that are going on in the world right now.
It's necessary.
It is.
To feed the people.
Absolutely.
Now, it's not the most harmonious though. And I think that's what you're getting at.
Sure.
Versus before colonization, what did it look like?
What did it look like?
I've got an idea, but I think you have a better idea than me.
Well, I don't know. My interpretation of what little I know and of what I've seen in the indigenous communities, man would not take more than he needed.
No greed.
No, there was
less greed.
There was really hardly any greed. It was harmonious. Not to say that it was a utopia either. There was obviously disagreements with our neighbors. The Apaches were really good at disagreeing with people. Not very friendly. Shout out to me Apaches out there.
Comanche.
Well, I mean, a lot of that we have to go back into the story, and a lot of the stories were mistold, right? A lot of the stories were, of course. And so, but no, back to the question, I think indigenous man was migratory in nature. And so they migrated to greener pastures at times, allowing the earth time to heal. They would move with the buffalo and the elk. They would move with the rain. And so the people along this area have always migrated from Colorado, Montana, the Utes, Dene, down to the Tarumaras, Zapotec, and they've always kind of done this thing, you know. On my father's clan, being Yaqui Joeme from Arizona and Sonora, you know, our people's land have been caught kind of right in the middle. And so if you're on the north side of the fence, you're a card carrying Native American recognized by the feds. If you were stuck on the south end of the fence, you were just a Mexican. And so, I mean, there's a lot of communities that have been displaced like that.
What set the fence?
This last time, well, the land grab. I mean, there's always been, you know, war between the U.S. and Mexico, and then, you know, the Guadalupe Treaty and a bunch of other things.
Oh,
like
you're
that.
talking U.S. and Mexico.
Yes.
Okay.
That fence.
Okay.
And so along the Arizona border, we have many indigenous communities. My father's clan being one of them. Half of it is on the U.S. side, half of it is on the Mexican side.
And their
nationality is different. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, like, the way they've been integrated into society is different.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
That sounds horrible to say, like, integrated into society. It's like weird.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Been assimilated.
Yeah. And man, part of that, I don't like that. Because I told you about this previously. I read this book, Empire of the Summer Moon, and it's about the Comanche.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman, something Parker, drawing a blank right now. Sorry, but she grew up in a white community, and they were attacked by a Comanche tribe, and she was taken hostage as a child. So she grows up with the Comanche, ends up falling in love, and marries the chief. And they end up having kids. She has this whole family, and she's full on in the Comanche tribe and assimilated the other direction.
Or liberated.
And that's how she viewed it. That was the fascinating thing to me, is because years later, that tribe was attacked by the U.S. Army, and they recaptured her back and brought her back to her original family.
Civilization. Right.
And she's like, this is horrible. I want to go back to my home, which was with the Comanche tribe. And I was like, whoa.
Wow.
So maybe it isn't assimilating that way. It is liberating. And that's how it was for her. Now, again, it's tough just because, like, her age, like, probably played a huge role going in as a child and then growing up with that, falling in love, you know. But maybe that way of life is just better. I mean, to me, it seems like awesome. I wish I could live multiple lives and experience that, because I think I would love it, dude. I think I would love it. Love it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would quite enjoy that. And again, we're going back to living in harmony, the way Creator, Great Spirit wanted it and intended it for us, right? To live in harmony with the earth and live in harmony with the trees and the water and the fish and the elk. Yeah, you know, and we've been under attack for eons. Back to the Gregorian calendar, what is it, 200-300 years after the death of Christ, there was a Roman emperor that didn't like the way the calendar was divvied up. And so the original people's calendar of indigenous people from across the earth, not just the Americas, but operate on a 13-moon month, year,
13-month year.
Thank you. Yes. And so you get 13 moons, 13 months divided by 28 days. That's why we get the weird leap year and the blue weird moon, 2 moons in a month, and it's all fucked up. And it's done with intention, right? Because it's throwing us again, like the frequency of the music throws them off, throws their diet off, throws their
circadian rhythm.
Absolutely. It's like the
'cause I know about the circadian rhythm within the day, but I imagine we have a rhythm with the year.
Within the year, we have our equinoxes. We have we're going into winter now, right? And so now we're going into the dream state, as we call it. We're going into that dark space where now we get to go internally, like the animals that hibernate, you know, the bears and the rattlesnakes and all sorts of little creepy crawlers that go down into the earth, and they take this time to eat off of their harvest, right? That fall harvest.
Yep.
And then they get to take the time to develop the dreams for the next year. And so develop the what's the plan for my life come springtime, not come New Year's. We're talking to the dead of winter right here. Everybody's got their New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
And
That lasts a week.
Yeah. The gym within that first week, right? The first 2 weeks of New Year's, it sucks, right? You can't get a machine. And then people fall off. Well, yeah, we're expecting for this plant to blossom fruits in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
And so again, we're looking at the calendar, right? Stepping it back, going back to that calendar. It's hibernation mode. All the trees go into that hibernation mode. And then we expect the new year, which is what? Springtime. When that new sun comes, when that earth shifts again, we come closer to the sun, right? Creating that springtime. And so, we've been under attack for a long time, whether it's diet, whether it's spiritual, whether it's the calendar, whether it's the frequency in our music. And it's just to become more aware of these things, because a lot of these things, our ancestors, our grandparents, our parents, our family have taught us these things, and we don't question it. We just we celebrate it because that's what my parents did, and that's what their parents did.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at 300 to 500 years of colonization in the U.S. In the Americas. In Europe it was even longer. Man, they were colonized moons ago. Right. And so just going back
colonization,
to colonization, yeah.
It feeds the machine.
Absolutely.
It is the machine.
It is the machine. Fuels it.
And it's like, starting with the Rockefellers back then. It started before then, but that's like when it really took off, and you got these monopolies that rose and got their grasps on it.
Brilliant. Yeah. We say the system's broken, but it's not broken.
Yeah.
It works perfectly. They know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And to be a mistake, and you know this from jiu-jitsu, never underestimate your opponent.
Oh, for sure.
And so that's mistake number one. And so we think that the system is broken, led by idiots. It's not.
No.
Quite the contrary.
Quite the contrary. And yeah, I've had this conversation before, like I was talking to a buddy, he's all, they're smart.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, wouldn't you do the same thing?
Brilliant.
Like,
yeah.
I don't think I would, but I don't know.
Well, if that was my game plan, sure, it's brilliant.
Divide and conquer.
Adolf Hitler, another brilliant mind. 7 days from splitting the atom, we'd be speaking German right now. Was fascinated by what the colonizer did to the Native American population, and so the figures. Adolf Hitler.
Really?
Absolutely. He was a fan of American history beyond anything we even know.
Wow.
And so he considered himself with a little problem, a couple of million Jews he needed to eradicate. I think they said about 12 billion, half of them were sympathizers. So we're looking at 4.5, 5 million Jews. Conservatively in the US, we're figuring anywhere between 100 to 120 million natives. And so, yeah, the numbers are stacked, right? But nobody talks about the American Holocaust. But Hitler was so fascinated, and he said, wow, these cowboys can go out west and eradicate about 100 million natives. I got about 6 million Jews that need handling.
All right, I got to give you some pushback here. We talked about history.
Yeah.
And how it may not all be true.
Right.
This is one that I've been diving into recently. And I'm like, is everything we learned about World War II true?
Is anything learned from any other history books true?
Right. And because that's the only Holocaust we hear about.
Correct.
And like you just said, 120 million?
Conservatively, 100 to 120.
Versus 6?
Mm-hmm. Why 12 with sympathizers.
Why do we only hear about this one Holocaust?
Because they control the media. They control the narrative.
Exactly. And the history books.
Absolutely.
And the movies that told us about that time. So now I'm starting to see some of his speeches that were translated using AI. And I'm like, is this what he really said?
Wow.
Because this does not match up with what we've been told.
Right. Right.
Now, I don't know if these AI translations have been altered.
That's the other one.
So I don't know yet.
Yeah.
But man, I haven't dug deep enough, but I'm starting to think everything we've been told about World War II was a lie. And maybe we were fighting on the wrong side of the war.
It wouldn't be the first time.
It wouldn't be the first time. No.
And again, we just celebrated Veterans Day, and my love to all the vets. the ones that
for
came
sure.
home and the ones that didn't. Much
you.
gratitude. Thank you. And I ask myself, when will these politicians, these cowards, continue to send our children off to battle?
Our young men.
Our young men and women to fight these wars that are, we had Al Qaeda in the White House yesterday.
Yeah. These are all bullshit proxy wars. They're all bullshit wars.
Really let that sink in, because I know brothers and sisters that didn't come back from that, whether physically came back in a box or spiritually, they're still battling some things.
Yeah.
And yesterday we welcomed that opposing team to the White House. And again, just for the record, fuck both sides.
Yeah.
I'm indigenous, and we believe that both wings belong to the same sick bird.
Yep.
And until the American people can wake up and use critical thinking, I rock hard left on some things. I rock hard right on others.
Yeah.
That's just me not pledging blind allegiance to any particular team.
Totally. And I thought here, I was bamboozled. I was fooled. I thought Donald Trump was going to be the guy that wasn't the politician to come in and drain the swamp. That's what he told us.
That's what the promise was.
He didn't do that. Now in his second term, it's more clear than ever that he's bought and sold. Owned.
Well, and I want to say thank you for admitting that, because a lot of our brothers that voted either way are gung-ho to not admitting.
Yeah.
When the writing is all over the fucking wall, my friend.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Joe's any better or Kamala's any better.
No, God, no.
Obama was a war criminal that should be
indicted.
indicted.
They're all criminals.
But I can tell you one thing, they were all partying on that island.
Yep.
Both red and white, both red and blue, man.
Exactly.
And that's why it's not coming out.
Exactly.
And they're not going to release it, right? But I think as Americans, going back to the colonization of the people, right? Because the colonization started with my indigenous people, but now it affects us all, right? Because they can control that narrative.
Yep.
It's opposing teams, that blind loyalty.
Yep.
And to be able to say, hey, you know what? I cast a vote. I'm sorry. I was bamboozled, like many of us were.
Yeah. And no, I'm not going to say, I still think he is better than Kamala. I'm going to go there. There's a few things like the open border that was out of control. So there's a few things that I'm like, okay, that's better, but it's still clear that he's owned.
Absolutely.
And he is not putting our best interests at heart. He's not America first. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, the 400 billion from Qatar, the whole other, I mean, just all of it. Yeah. I mean, even from his inauguration, who was special guest at the White House? Jeff Bezos.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Google,
all the tech,
all the big. I mean, at least back in the day, they used to call them lobbyists. And the lobbyists had to do it legally. And there had to be a trace of where the money came, how it was. Now they're sitting front row to the show.
Bitcoin's being transferred. Boom. You don't know
McDonald's is sponsoring White House meals. Like, this is crazy, man.
It's nuts.
This is crazy.
It's nuts.
But you know what? This is what America needs. I believe that we have operated in privilege and we have operated in arrogance for so long that we think that by pushing the world around, whether it be military wise, whether it be with tariffs, and the world is waking up, man. And there are moves happening all over the world.
We're the laughingstock of the world now.
Not only that, I mean, Mexico, Claudia, with the Canadian president, and Brazil, they just signed some agreement. I mean, there are some major power moves happening because of the arrogance that our leaders have taken.
Is it arrogance, though? Or is it that they're making decisions based on who's paying them?
Who's paying?
Who's paying them? Our leaders are getting funded by these lobbyists and are doing what the lobbyists tell them. So is it really arrogance?
Touché. Right. It looks like arrogance.
Right.
But it's working for somebody.
It's working for somebody.
Absolutely. For example, when the terrorists first hit, right, and all these crazy numbers went out, stock market did this, took a nosedive, and all those special interest people all of a sudden decided to invest. Right at that perfect, and then all of a sudden, boom! It bounces back, and now that investment
Cha-ching.
just correct, And I'm thinking to myself, man, why can't I make that friend list? Like somebody let me in on that one.
Like
You're right.
Nancy Pelosi, the best trader in history.
Martha Stewart, another one. I mean, so
Yeah.
insider trader. I mean, all of these people that have, I saw Martha Stewart this morning on TV giving Thanksgiving turkey advice. She swindled the retirement of these old people. Never paid it back. I mean, we're talking about, these are heinous fucking crimes, man.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's not ignorance. They know what they're doing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah.
For somebody.
For somebody.
Yeah.
The Jews. Well, who said that?
Right.
Man.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
We're flying, bro.
We're flying.
I think what it comes down to is what I'd like to see, and what I would like to encourage people is critical thinking. I think we've lost that.
Yes.
We've lost that.
Think for yourself.
I see it in my own family. This is a conversation that I have with my mother and my siblings and my nieces and nephews, because they saw something on TikTok and now they're spewing the same information. I'm like, have you vetted your info? Yeah. No, okay, let me show you how this is done. So we go in. Okay, who posted it? It's these people. All right, let's find out about their organization. Let's do some work on it. Let's do some research.
Yes.
Okay, this organization belongs to so-and-so, special interest. What is their mission statement? Well, they want to prove that evolution happened. And so they're going to pump a bunch of money into this. And then they pump out this information on social media. People like my family see it, and it's true now. It's like, oh my God, this monkey, blah, 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 and then goes on to the next person, and that's how the misinformation is spread. I would like to encourage critical thinking on all ends.
Yes.
Doubt all of it.
Yep.
Believe none of what we hear, believe none of what we see, and unless you stick your finger in the hole of Jesus' hand like Judas did, he said, I don't believe that is God until I stick my finger in that hole. That's pretty crazy, by the way. But be that person, be that Judas, and say,
Thomas.
let me invest
Thomas, I
this.
think.
Was it Thomas?
Yeah. Doubting Thomas?
Oh, Doubting Thomas.
Yeah. No worries.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Because by then Judas,
he said, I wouldn't believe it till
I see it, right? Yeah. Doubting Thomas. Yeah. Thank you. And so let's be like Doubting Thomas. Let's doubt everything.
Well, we have to now, because there's so much illusion and lies that is being put in front of us.
Disseminated.
Yep.
And we're not even questioning it, man. We eat it up, and hey, Jared, did you hear?
No way.
Yeah. And then you turn around, put it on a podcast. Now everybody's like, man, did you hear Jared? And so
he said World War II is a lie.
Well, and I'm gonna dive into that, because I want to see, you've given me a new perspective that I honestly don't know. And it's okay to say, yo, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and do some homework, versus disseminating some information that is not true.
For sure. And I'm going to clarify again. I'm not saying World War II is a lie. I said maybe.
Maybe. Right.
But
right.
Maybe.
Well, and we brought a bunch of German war criminals home. If we want to go with the narrative.
Yeah.
Our science.
Into NASA.
All
Operation Paperclip.
All of it. Yeah. We're talking
mad scientists.
All of a sudden we got stealth technology and missiles and radar, and we split the atom. So we had the A-bomb that we used a few times and stuff like that. But that was all Germans. That was all stuff that they did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And their technology, there's no doubt their technology was the best of the best at that time.
Not just that, the stuff in the medical field. A huge amount of technology that we use in the medical field is because of the research that Hitler's people did with the Jews.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We can stay on this topic, but there's one other that I definitely want to touch is working out and stretching and all that, and the discoveries we've made along that path. But do you want to segue into that now, or did you want to stay on this topic a little longer?
Yeah, I love it.
When we first met in the sauna, I told you my back is locked up right now, and it's happened to me 2 or 3 times. And I think my theory is I've been working on my alignment. I had flat feet my whole life. And so I thought I was born that way. Well, I've been learning that, hey, it's not something you're born with. It's a bad habit. Oh. And so now I've been learning how to rebuild my arches and connect to my feet again. I couldn't wiggle my toes before. Like all I could do is like a little bit like that. And
Really?
now I can kind of grab, and I'm building that dexterity with my toes.
Wow.
Yes, and it has changed everything. But
That's
that's the
awesome.
foundation, right? So my feet
Absolutely.
were flat, and not only were they flat, they were uneven.
Ah,
So then my hips were uneven, my
shifted.
shoulders were uneven, my
Yep.
neck was uneven,
Yep.
and I'm sure I had scoliosis as
Yep.
well
Yep.
because my
Yep.
spine's compensating for all
Correct.
that. And so this has been a journey of realigning my body. And with that, I've made some discoveries that have absolutely changed the game. And when I make these discoveries, sometimes I get a little excited.
Yeah.
And then I go like balls to the wall 100%. I got this new thing. I got to do it with
Yes.
everything,
That's right.
but I overdo it because my
That's
body's not used to that.
love it.
And then the back ends up locking up on me. So that's happened 3 times now, and that happened the other day. It had locked up on me. That's when I met you in the sauna, and you were like, "Have you done any
You're
stretching?"
hurting. Yeah, yeah. It looked
Yeah,
like you were hurting. I was like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're like, "You done any stretching or foam rolling?" I was like,
Yes.
"I love that you said that." I was like, "I'm a big proponent of stretching.
Yes.
I think it is highly underrated.
Oof.
Highly underrated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are like, I don't want to stretch." But it's not even just that. Like stretching for a warm up is one thing,
Mm.
but stretching for mobility is something else.
Mm-hmm.
And stretching to further unlock your body is way different than a little stretch for a warm up, because that's usually what we think of stretching, right? It's like,
Right.
oh, I got to get my
Right.
stretches.
Right.
Like
Right.
we're about to work out, we're about to do some sports or whatever, touch your toes.
Right.
But there is so much more to stretching.
Mm.
And I feel like this is your specialty.
Ah. Yes. I'm learning still. Yes. um, well, on my wall hangs a license of massage therapy to practice, but I also am a hierbero and a huesero, like my mother. And then I worked under the curandero clause in New Mexico, the traditional healer. Not a big fan of the name, but it allows us to work outside of the licensure. Um, I've had 2 shoulder rebuilds. Local surgeon in town. Shout out to Dr. McGuire. I love his work. Lateral deviation of the spine, scoliosis as a child, compression of L5S1 from a horse accident, and then I was T-boned 2 years ago. A violent accident in El Paso. Hit on the left side, so C5 and 6, right side herniation. And so I've learned to take care of these things holistically, yes, but it wasn't until I was introduced to the gym that I started putting 2 and 2 together. For example, anything to strengthen the paraspinal muscles, right? And it took me a long time to get there because I was trying to lift like a big boy, put a bunch of plates on there, throw your
Same.
back, go home.
Yep.
And it's just a vicious cycle.
Yep.
Until I dropped down to 10s. I'm doing deadlifts with 2 10s, and
Dude.
then 15s, and kind of build up from there. Reminding myself that I'm not in a race with anybody else. This is for my well-being.
Yes.
And so by strengthening the paraspinal muscles, all the work that we do is symmetrical. And so left side as a right side, if you're doing it right, they're going to develop together. And so we forget that Western medicine has it wrong in many ways. And this is just my humble opinion, working with DCs, OTs, PTs, and neurologists for the last 20 years. For example, we say that the skeletal system is the one that dictates, right? And then it dictates the shape, the form,
Okay.
right? And it's the muscle that supports. When, for example, my compressed L5S1, when the muscle was flaccid, when it was weak, when it was in that hypertrophy state, because doctors tell you not to work out because you have a compressed disc, right? They tell you, don't work out, you're going to hurt yourself. But in strengthening that, those attachments to the bones, when the vertebrae is compressed, those attachments do not change.
Yeah.
They continue to be attached.
Uh-huh.
So when that muscle becomes tonus again,
Yeah.
strong again, that muscle will lift that vertebrae from that compression.
And relieve the herniation.
Correct. And so I no longer carry a herniation L5S1.
Wow.
L5S1. I no longer have lateral deviation of the spine because of that workout, right? Anything that to strengthen the paraspinal muscles as they became stronger and they weren't weak anymore, all of a sudden they're going to push that spine to where it needs to be.
You said the skeletal system isn't the skeletal system doesn't determine your alignment.
Nope.
That's what I discovered with my feet.
Correct.
It's the same thing.
Correct.
I thought I was born with flat feet. And so many people are
Confirmed it.
they
confirmed it for
yeah,
you.
yeah. The doctors, they gave me inserts.
Right.
Uh,
I hate those inserts.
me too. It's a crutch.
Yeah.
It does not. It teaches your foot to rely on that support instead of developing the muscles that support themselves.
Correct.
So it's a crutch.
That's right.
So it's doing more damage than good.
That's right.
And now maybe I've told some people, like my sister, she was having some issues as well. My mom's like, well, she hurts when she doesn't have them. It's like, well, you can give it to her for some pain relief when she needs it, but she needs to learn how to develop those muscles without.
Correct.
But my mom's like, well, she doesn't really want to. I'm like,
there's a, yeah.
Yeah. But you can fix your flat feet. If you want to find out how, shoot me a DM, Instagram, whatever, and we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But this is what we're talking about.
That's right.
Same thing. The skeletal system does not determine your alignment.
No.
And you can fix it.
That's right.
Whether it's scoliosis, flat feet,
Carpal tunnel, whiplash.
You name it.
Anything.
You name it.
You name it. That's right.
And how do you fix it?
Well, again, accountability, showing up, realizing that the pill is not going to aid you in forever in getting your ass up at whatever time you need to go to the gym. You need to show up. You need to show up for yourself. That's just what it comes down to.
No doubt.
And as Westerners, we've become very comfortable in having somebody else fix it.
Yeah.
Right. And so
the easy pill.
No, this is something that you cannot buy.
No.
And yes, back to the stretching. We don't stretch enough.
Real quick, I think it's more than going to the gym. You have to make the intentional choice to fix that issue.
Yes.
Because you can go to the gym and still have your bad habits and make it worse.
Yes.
So yeah, same here.
Been there, done that.
Same
I'm still learning.
Yeah. So back in college, I had my friend. He was super strong. We're the same build. I'm like, bro, tell me your secrets.
Yeah.
So he put me on this program. He showed me this guy, and I built strength like you wouldn't believe.
Wow.
I was like, oh man, this is the strongest I've ever been.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the proper alignment. My feet were flat. So guess what? When your body's misaligned and you're pushing heavy weight, that creates a weak point. And that weak point's going to give out first.
Illness.
And when you keep pushing yourself without the proper technique, the proper alignment, your body's going to give out and it's going to fail eventually.
Absolutely.
So this is why I love that you said that earlier. You're doing deadlifts with 10 pounders on there.
Of course.
Dude, that's
But
what
the
I had
form
to
is-
do. Yes.
Yes.
And so, man, that's actually my injuries led me to discover this through jujitsu. I tore an MCL. A guy hit me with an illegal move. I didn't know about it. I turned the wrong way, made it tighter, tore my MCL. So that was one. And that made me discover the knees over toes. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
That's another one where the medical field says never put your knees over your toes. Total bullshit. That is how I've retrained my knees and bulletproofed them. They're way stronger than before the MCL tear.
Yeah.
And that was the first injury. The second one, arm bar. And I was in a tournament. Adrenaline was pumping. I didn't feel pain. I was like, maybe I can wiggle out. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
And it was tendons. So from my pinky all the way into my back. And I can feel the tingle.
Brachial plexus. Yep.
Whenever I'd lift heavy, I'd just feel this tingle in there all the way up and down. And I'm like, okay, this isn't, I should not lift heavy weights anymore. This is my body telling me something's wrong. So I dropped down 5-pound dumbbells. That's all I've been doing for 3 years.
Wow.
5 pounders, dude.
Wow, you look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that led me to discover this new style of lifting, which is learning how to make lightweight feel heavy through the core brace and stabilizing my body to really isolate the muscle that I'm targeting to make that 5-pounder feel like it's doing work.
That's right.
And man, that process has helped me unlock these smaller muscles, these little ones that help control everything.
Fibers.
Yeah. Instead of just like push that weight,
Right.
now I can feel the connection all the way through in a way deeper level.
Yes.
And I know once these tendons are healed and I start building that strength again, it's going to be so much stronger because I've got this connection now. So now I'm a firm believer in, before going through the strength gains, starting with super lightweight and dialing in your form and making that lightweight feel heavy. And then once you learn to make that lightweight feel heavy, then you can start
You
building.
can stack it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, man, it's changed everything for me. Go ahead.
Absolutely. No. And you touched two very important things right there. The armbar, right? And so that was one of my specialties with the massage, with the sports massage, right? The armbar is one of my good examples, and say, this is your range of motion here. That's it. ROM, whatever degree this is. And then working with somebody that specializes in maximizing range of motion. If you can just get 1 degree or 2 degrees more, that gives you enough time to either reverse, tap out before injury, whatever you got to do. And so it's going to maximize performance, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whether it's football, whether it's NBA. The really funny thing is I don't even like sports. I like combat sports, but like baseball and football, I like working with the athlete because of the way they're just so grateful for any technique that we hit them with. They're not going to complain. Thank you. We're going to hit them with the kitchen sink. It's going to hurt, but you're going to be better tomorrow when you get on the field. So the range of motion.
And this comes into the stretching.
Circling back into the stretching, right? One of my most favorite techniques is a Thai technique. It's called Thai massage. And within the industry, we call it the lazy man's yoga, because basically I'm going to do to you on a table or on a mat what you could do for yourself on a yoga mat.
I see.
And so again, it's not stretching for an event, it's stretching for life.
Oh, speaking my language, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hot yoga. I fell in love with it, dude.
Wow.
It's
rough.
It's tough. It is tough. It is tough. But like you said, the arm bar.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, arm bar is a technique in jiu-jitsu where your opponent literally tries to hyperextend your elbow and break your elbow joint. So when it gets locked out, that's where, as far as it can go, then they put pressure here and extend it till it breaks. Well, if you can go a little further with some stretching, then you have more range of motion to where you can escape or tap out, whatever.
Maximize range of motion so that you could decrease injury or speed up recovery. And that's what it is right there. And that's the name of the game. Maximize range of motion so that you can avoid injury. And if you do get injured, then it's going to maximize recovery time. That's it.
You nailed it.
That's it. And so when I first started working out a few years ago, I've only been working out for a few years. I love it now. I call it going to church. That's my church. I go there because I get to work through my things. I get to be in gratitude that all my little body parts work and you know, and just spend some time.
It's therapy.
Yeah, it is therapy. And so I go to church. It's my temple.
Yeah.
But the stretching for me has really become key in maximizing my range of motion and living a somewhat pain-free life.
Yes.
Yeah, they wanted to operate my neck. You know, 2 different surgeons. Yeah, they wanted to operate my neck. Of course, it was a personal injury accident, so you know, attorneys are all over it, and the doctors want to get paid. And the first surgeon says to me, he says, "Well, we're going to go in around the front side. We're going to cut you open, push your esophagus over, and put a cage." They wanted a cage like 4, 5, and 6 or something. You're going to lose range of motion. We might have some nerve entrapment and impingement. He says, but if it doesn't work, then we could go around the back side and cut you open and try to. And I'm thinking to myself, you just want to practice medicine with my neck, man. And so what did I do? I got a second opinion. Second doctor said the same thing. We need to cage your neck. And as I sit here before you today, I can say that I'm about pain scale from 1 to 10, maybe a 1 right now.
Wow.
But I have to show up every morning. I have to go to the gym.
Yep.
If you notice me, you're going to catch me back on the green with my foam roller.
Yep.
And I stopped trying to work out like a bodybuilder. I'm an ectomorph, man. My people are skinny people, right? I feel good at my age. You know, I'm healthy. I'm pretty pain-free. But instead of wasting time trying to build muscle because of my ego, right? That ego lifting. God, we used to have so many injuries coming through the clinic because of the ego factor. But
1,000%.
Yeah. And so now I spend anywhere between 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, really depending on what I need, back on the green on that foam roller.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. That's what my body needs.
You said it. Stretching. Can you say what you said again? Stretching is
To maximize range of motion.
yes.
Yeah. To decrease injury and to speed up recovery.
I love that.
Name of the game.
And a lot of what I preach for training is training for longevity.
Yes.
Instead of ego lifting or trying to get big for vanity or whatever. And that's one of the things is like, it humbles you real quick when you're lifting 5-pound weights. There ain't no ego lifting there, brother. So, but training for longevity.
Yes.
And stretching is such a key component for that.
That's right.
Because your stretching is going to improve your mobility, your flexibility, your functionability, how well you can move, how you can get in and out of your chair, how you can get up and off the ground. These are like so underrated. Like some people can't get on the ground, on the floor.
Right.
They can't get down because they know they can't get back up.
That's right.
Dude.
That's the reality we live in.
That's the reality we live in. If I get on the floor, I won't be able to get up. And I don't ever want to be like that. I don't ever want to be like that.
I pray God mercy on my life to give me the strength to continue to show up for myself and take care of myself, because I know, and this is very important for us to drill this home as Americans, is nobody's coming to save us.
No.
We have to do the work. We have to show up individually.
Yes.
We have to, I have to show up every day.
Yeah.
You know, it takes me about a week of skipping the gym when, you know, my neck starts hurting. About 3 days in, my neck starts to hurt. About a month in, I'll throw my back out. It's just that constant maintenance. And coming from a farm, I come from a farm as well. And, you know, if we didn't maintenance our tractors, if we didn't maintenance our pickups, if we didn't maintenance our tools, you know, those are our livelihoods.
Starts breaking down.
That's this. All of those other things can be replaced.
Yeah.
That pickup can be replaced.
That's so true.
Oil changed at every 3,000 miles. And we use the Chevron and Shell. And we, you know, good spark plugs and, you know, full synthetic oil. But then I'll drive through a McDonald's and I'll feed this crap.
The temple.
The temple, my friend.
And we only have one.
You know, and I always say the thing about the temple, I love you saying that, because although I am indigenous of spirituality, I use more, some people call us pagans. But, you know, whether it be a Christian church, my brother's got a Christian church down here in Mesilla. My mother practices that way. I have Catholic friends. I have many different religions. And even though I don't practice their religion, if I was sitting in their church one day and here comes this guy walking across the carpet with dog shit on his shoe, would you allow it? No. Of course not.
No.
Now, why would we drag that same dog shit through this temple?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
many people say, I want to own a Ferrari.
Aye.
How many people say, I want to be a Ferrari?
Ooh, me.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. The body. You get one of these.
That's right.
And man, what type of fuel do you put in a Ferrari?
Only the
Back
good stuff.
to the rocket fuel, man.
Only the good stuff.
Only
man.
the good stuff.
Only the good stuff.
That's right.
And I can feel it now. You know, I've come from a culture of people that, I mean, we invented refried beans, man. That means somebody fried them the first time and decided to fry them again, you know? And so like we have very unhealthy habits as Mexican American, as Chicanos.
Yep.
Diabetes, obesity, liver problems, kidney problems.
Yep.
And to touch on that, a lot of people think it's a genetic predisposition to something.
Facts.
My people come, oh, my mom had diabetes. No. and I'm going to use an example, and I don't know how well this will go, but it's factual in my life. A gun. You take any weapon, cock it, put it on the table. That gun will not hurt, injure, neutralize any situation until somebody comes along and pulls the trigger. Okay. Being in this line of work for so long, this is something that I've always said to those people that, well, my mom is diabetic. Hold on. It's like that gun. Cock it, put it on the table. What pulls the trigger is the bad diet.
Yep.
That is the catalyst. That is the muse that fires up that fuse. Yes, there's predisposition. We all have the predisposition to cancer and diabetes and all sorts of shit. What pulls the trigger?
The lifestyle.
The food. How are we fueling it? Right? Cancer cannot exist in an alkaline environment. But if everything that we eat is acidic, it's going to thrive,
Yeah.
right? But if we have an alkaline-based diet, it doesn't allow those predispositions. My mother's what I inherited was cafecito in the morning with pan dulce, big sweet bread the size of my fucking head with the fucking, you know what I mean? My grandfather used to drink 5:30 in the morning Coca-Cola, one of those big old Coca-Colas with sweet bread. Of course the man was fucking diabetic. You see what I'm saying? And so, yes, I might have a predisposition to blah, 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 according to Western medicine. What pulls the trigger, though, is the diet.
Yep. Dude, that's crazy you use that analogy. When you before you even mentioned the gun, I was thinking of this quote from one of my favorite ladies, Barbara O'Neill. Have you heard of her?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She says, genetics loads the gun, lifestyle pulls the trigger.
Wow.
This is literally what you just said.
She speaks our language. Yeah. And going back to accountability. What does it look like? Because I could say,
blame it on your parents.
Right. The bad genes. Man.
No.
What I inherited was bad lifestyles.
Bad habits.
I saw it from my mother. She refried her beans and then refried them. By the time they get to the table, they got so much fucking lard in them.
Yeah.
And so it's not the genetic predisposition that I succumbed to, more so than following the same diet that my mother followed, that my grandparents followed.
Yeah.
And so to take a look at that and say, okay, I want to do something different. For me, it was like eating burritos in the morning with the Coca-Cola, right?
Yep.
And going from that to like green smoothies, pineapple, spinach, cucumber, a little bit of protein in there. I still use the whey, put a shot of whey in there, some creatine. I'm out the door. I feel great.
Yeah.
Now I've gotten to the place where when I eat a burrito in the morning, I need a fucking nap.
Yeah.
I feel
you
that.
feel it.
I feel that heaviness
Dude,
in my blood.
Yes.
That bacon that I love and the refried beans and the potatoes with green chili,
Yes.
And it just not that I don't eat that way. I will, but I make sure not to eat like that every morning.
For sure.
Treat yourself. Have a burrito. Have a fucking donut.
Yeah.
Drink a fucking beer. It's all about a healthy balance. Why? Because we call them diets, but diets are meant to be broken. It has a beginning and an end. But when we start a journey on a healthy lifestyle, it's forever, baby.
Forever.
That's right.
Love it. Once you clean up your diet and your lifestyle, you begin to feel and really notice when you eat some junk how it affects you. Absolutely. Because whenever you're just eating normally, it's just normal. Like this is what I do. This is how I feel. This is nothing new. But once you clean it up and you feel that cleaner, more energy, more focus, more drive, less brain fog, and then you go back, you can really feel the effects of the junk.
Bet your ass you can. And for men, it's women as well, but I can only speak for, my journey. At almost 50, I hit andropause at 33. My testosterone levels took a dive. I was like, I think the chart's like 200 to 900. I was like at $150. Depression, suicidal ideations, not to mention like the physical aspect where you're not feeling that spark of life, if you will.
Yeah.
And so the diet feeds all of that, right? Yeah. So say one cannot have circulatory issues without it affecting your erectile dysfunction. You see what I mean? They're all tied in together, right? You cannot treat ED without saying, hey, what are you eating? Oh, you're eating a bunch of fried shit. You're putting this in your system and the caffeines and stuff like that affect that sex drive, that testosterone hormone. And so it's all interconnected, man.
Oh yeah. Well, talking about testosterone, this is one of the biggest lies that we've ever been fed about nutrition. In the 1960s, the sugar industry blamed fats, saturated fats, and red meat for the issues that sugar was causing. That's why to this day, people are trained in the medical field that red meat's bad for you.
Of course.
And fats are bad for you. Yeah. Butter is bad.
No. Not the good butter.
No, they say the good butter's bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, of course they would.
Right.
Right.
So they say no butter, no eggs, no red meat. None of these.
But sugar's okay.
Right.
Right.
And this was in the 1960s, the sugar industry, they paid off scientists to put out these studies that this is why you can't trust anything. But this one, man, has fucked so many people. And to this day, we've got such low testosterone levels. Oh, the other big part of this is cholesterol. They blamed cholesterol. They said cholesterol's bad.
Bad. No, we have to have some good cholesterol.
And that's the other part. They say there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. The body doesn't make anything bad. Why would our body make bad cholesterol? It doesn't make anything bad. And it's just been labeled that by the sugar industry.
Of course.
And cholesterol is the precursor for testosterone.
Them sugar, man, them people are
Bro.
everything. Like,
Dude,
these
sugar
guys
is
have
an
figured
everything.
out. I mean, I've seen studies where, like McDonald's fries, right? They've studied the sugar to where they can bring it up to the level of addiction, but not high enough to where you can taste it in the product, right? So I eat the fries. I love the fries.
Yep.
I used to eat the fries.
Yeah.
But when I figured out how much sugar there is in the fries, just in the fries alone, everything, the cereals, everything has sugar, just a little bit to keep you addicted, right?
Yep.
Like
That's the addiction.
Keep you like a hamster on that wheel.
Yes, sir.
I battle with it, and I've
Me too.
kicked many addictions, man. But the sugar one is the one that I'm,
It's vicious.
I got a lemon meringue pie in my freezer right as we speak, man. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you guys, and you catch me over at the game having a beer and a slice of pie one of these days, man. And that's why I'll be at the gym at 5:30 in the morning. But the sugar, man, for me, and I've had friends and family that have kicked the sugar. Like, it takes a month to and they're just, it's like a withdrawal of drugs, man. Like a heroin withdrawal.
Yes.
Like they're just nasty and moody and hormones are all over the place trying to kick sugar.
That's one of the biggest ones all my clients struggle with is getting rid of sugar.
Wow.
And we don't realize how much it's biological. It's not, yes, it's psychological, but it's our gut microbiome that sugar is feeding this bad bacteria that's developing in our gut microbiome. And then our gut releases all our feel-good chemicals, serotonin, dopamine, endocrine. And so that's where our sugar cravings are coming from. This release that's telling our brain we need sugar.
It feels good.
Yes.
It's the addiction.
Feels good. It's an addiction.
Baby.
It's an addiction. Heavy.
Right.
And that's one that it's like, it's so overlooked because it's not alcohol. It's not weed. It's sugar. It's just sugar.
Right.
It's like,
and that's the other one. It's so we're back to the taboo of speaking on obesity, right? You see, when I went through my battles with alcoholism, right? And, it was easy for people to point it out, be like, hey, man, when are you going to stop fucking up? And you drink. And so the difference between alcoholism or any other kind of addiction and obesity is that you come home and you share that addiction with your kids.
ooh, man.
I never brought cocaine home and pumped it in my daughter. I never brought ecstasy or any other party drugs home and pumped it into my kid. Yet obesity is one that you share directly with your offspring. And so when will we be allowed to speak on these things openly, as we do, the heroin addict and the alcoholic and the other addictions, the right now, that is what is killing our people.
Facts.
In the US, in Latin America, and any other country that has tried to mold their dietary ideals behind the American diet, because there's many countries like Brazil that ate the way they eat, right? Their indigenous diet, but because Americans, we've kind of set the tone to many things, and the diet's one of them. Right. And so now you're starting to see obesity in different countries that mold their diet to what we eat.
This is a genuine question. Is it the influence that America is causing, or is it the people that own these products that are trying to send them out into these other countries and take them over as well?
Both.
Absolutely.
I think as Americans, we have always had the privilege of influencing the world.
Yeah.
When it was jeans and it was Nikes and it was Jeeps and
culture
and rock and roll, lowriders. Go to Japan. There's a whole subculture of cholos in Japan that look like the real fucking thing. Matter of fact, some of the best lowriders in the world are built in Japan right now. Really? And so, America has always had that platform. Now, my question is, what are we doing with it?
What are we doing with it?
And that is the question. What are we doing with our privilege, our blessings, if you will?
Yes.
Are we hoarding them or are we sharing them?
We're being a bad example.
We've kind of been that way for a while, and it's been
For a
under
while.
different presidencies. We don't want to get political and say, "Oh, it's Trump's fault."
No, it's not the
It's not.
president's.
You know, it's been like this for quite some time.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it goes. I mean, unless people have more platforms like this where people can have these honest conversations, we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
I think it's coming around, you know, with the social media now, more people have a platform to speak up on it. Because think about it, back in the 90s, all you saw was the TV.
Right.
Now we have creators that across the platforms, all these platforms. Now there's good ones, there's bad ones, there's in between, but there we go, good and bad again. But
I can agree with that one. Yeah.
But it's now there's a chance for other people to have a voice and speak up against these forces that have been suppressing us for so long.
Right.
So I'm hopefully this podcast helps at least one person, and if it does,
Each one teach one, just one.
just one person. Man.
If one person can say, "Hey, I don't have to be insulin dependent. Hey, I don't have to be depressed. Hey, I don't have to be obese. Hey, I don't have to, anything."
Yeah.
We have that freedom, and if through this podcast we can reach one person that would make them think of like, hey man, there are options. And when I first started this journey and I opened up my clinic here in Las Cruces many moons ago, there was this blessing in disguise that came through. It was a veteran that had been blown up in Afghanistan. And I'm sure if you look for it, you can find it. And so, yeah, they hit an IUD, blew them guy, And so doctor said he'd never walk again, sends him home on a full disability. And so he spends the next 2 years just eating. So a lot of our brothers and sisters come back and deal with it and hide in addiction, alcoholism or domestic violence or whatever it may be. This brother chose food. It's the easy thing, right? Your food, you get disability, you fill up the fridge, you eat some pies, whatever. Guy gets to like 500 pounds.
Oh,
massive, right? And so anyways, he's got this voiceover and he's talking about his experience. And so how he decided one day, he woke up and he said, I'm not listening to these doctors anymore. And he started his journey. And God, I wish I could remember his name. I'm actually going to go home and look it up because I would love to give him credit for the work that has influenced my life.
Yeah.
Right. And
we'll
we'll
include it in the editing.
Yeah. And that'd be beautiful. And so this veteran, fully disabled, obese now, takes on the journey of healing. And so he starts with this food, man. He completely does what we've been talking about for the last hour. And then he starts yoga. And so anyways, he goes, and man, I get chills just telling the story. I love this story. And at the end of it, there's this view and it's kind of a sunset and there's like a sidewalk and there's a park to the right. And you could hear him talking. He says, yeah, when I got blown up in Afghanistan, doctor said I'd never walk again. Fuck that or something. And right then you see the guy running and he's sprinting, bro. Sprinting from these injuries, from the spinal blown up in war, and going to the B side and falling into that pity party of like, my life sucks. And then him saying, yo, I can co-create my existence. And at the end of this video, he's at a full sprint.
That's beautiful, man.
And if he can do it, I can do it.
That's right.
And that's what I took from that message. And if I can do it, you've done it. If you can do it, people out there can do it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anything's possible.
That's right.
If you set your mind to it.
Amen to that.
What you got on your necklace there?
Got a little turtle.
I like it.
Yeah, it's part of my clan.
I like it.
Clan.
Yeah.
So the turtle has the calendar on it. It has the 13 squares and 28 days around it. So nature has its way of telling us and reminding us of the rhythm that creation wanted for us, and that mellow, good vibration. That's it.
Love it, bro.
Turtle, yeah, man.
Yeah. Fascinated by native culture and indigenous. Sorry, either one. Okay.
Our people are older than both of those concepts, but indigenous, native, yeah.
Okay.
The indigenous people just call themselves the people.
The people.
Before the giver of names came and called them Navajo sheep herder. That's not what they call themselves. They call themselves Dene, and so on and so forth. And so the people just call themselves the people of the valley. We were all just the people. And in memory of my late uncle and mentor Peter Garcia, he was Hopi Dene Mexica. He used to talk about the Hopi prophecy of the Rainbow Warriors, and that was all people from the north, the white, the yellow, the red, the black, and there would be a time in our life for humanity where all of humanity, the brothers from different clans, will come together for the healing of the planet and the nation. And so we got to put down those differences and look at similarities, right? If all you wield is a hammer, everything you see is a nail. And so if we look for that, we'll find it. But if we find similarities in this, I'm sure we could have many discussions of things we don't agree on. But here we are finding that common ground and saying, yo, I can support you in this, and you can support me, and we can build together, versus looking for things that alienate us from each other.
For sure. And I think we need that now more than ever.
Yeah, we wanted that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, with that, I think that's a good thing to wrap it up on. I got a few closing questions for you, and we'll finish this thing up.
I appreciate you, man.
Oh, thank you. If you could go back and give 18-year-old Ricardo some advice, what would you tell him?
Ooh, that's a good one. If I go back and give 18-year-old Ricardo, I would tell him, you are enough. That you don't have to work for love. And me first. Me first. And that sounds very selfish, but for people like myself, sometimes you give and you give and you give. Right. And at the end of the day, you go home to an empty chalice.
Yeah.
When Creator wants our cup to be full.
Yeah.
Right. And that which overflows, we can share.
Yes.
And so, me first sounds selfish, but in the terms of first responders, we were training out there in the Yanaguanas, San Marcos, kind of north of San Antonio, with the first responder fire department. And they were doing water rescues. And they taught us that the first thing you do, you try to communicate with the person drowning, and you come into their vicinity, but you stay about that far away. And if you're communicating with them and they're not comprehending and they're panicking, as a first responder, you think about me first and you let that person drown. Once they have passed out and drowned, then you can come close. Then we can take them to the water's edge, perform CPR, and bring them back. If you get too close to them during that time of panic, they will drown you with them.
Wow.
And so I would tell myself that I am enough, that I am worthy, that I don't have to work for love, and me first.
Beautiful. Top 3 favorite books?
Ooh, the 4 Accords.
4 what?
The 4 Accords.
Accords.
Yeah, Los Cuatro Acuerdos. And it talks about, we could get into it. It's a whole other conversation, but it's a really quick read too. And it talks about like being impeccable with your word, not taking anything personally, not making assumptions. And so it's kind of a little guide of how to live. 4 Accords. I always like, Carlos Castañeda, what it talks about the indigenous journey through healing and using like psychotropic plants for that spiritual encounter. I don't know. I'm really into like aquaponics at the moment. And so I got a couple of aquaponic books, that kind of growing my own vegetables through an enclosed system that while raising fish uses the nitrates to feed the plants and would basically mimic what Mother Earth does.
That's cool.
So the plants clean the nitrates, purifying the water, and then creating healthy fish. And so I'm kind of on that right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Are you growing anything?
I not at the moment. I did a test run about 2 years ago.
Okay.
and my heat pump failed and my fish froze.
Oh gosh.
But I know what to do now.
Okay.
So I know what to do different. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Here in Las Cruces, we can. I'm on Facebook, also Instagram, or my website, blueheronintegrativehealth.com. You can message me there.
We'll have all that in the description below.
Yeah.
Thanks again. I
Appreciate you,
appreciate you
brother.
coming on. It
Thank
was
you.
an awesome episode.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for the opportunity.